Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Madness. Welcome to Skyrim. Indeed, should you play modded Skyrim?
Let's get going.
Yes, I have finally gotten modded Skyrim to work. This is something I've been trying to do for ages, and I've generally always failed. But now it works. I have 2 followers. Got the follower tweaks mod, which means that I can go into here. Tweak options, I can change the way she reacts in combat, I can change her gear, I could change combat. Gear, I would not recommend changing, because you enable outfit management. One thing, she then gets naked for a moment. It's a bit weird. And then you can equip bonus outfits. So this is just a smaller side. Let's have a look at the bonus outfit for Lydia, and indeed I think most of the female companions. Yeah. Okay. That's not all, either. You know, just in case that wasn't creepy enough for you, I'm not going to go up the mountain looking like this. You can then change her pose. And I think we'll go with dance. We'll go with bump and grind. There we go, okay. What about hip-hop? What's hip-hop? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, okay, we'll stop. Please, okay, please stop. Okay, let's just go back. Let's put her back as she was. Let's take. Oh my god, she's glitching around. That's not the one I intended to get at all. Yeah, I like that option. Only allow helmets during combat. That's pretty cool. Means you can see their faces even when they're wearing helmets. We need to turn off outfit management and she'll go back to normal. Thank God for that.
Let's get going then.
So I don't use that. However, look at how pretty this game is now. It is so pretty. I can't even remember what Skyrim looked like before, but I remember it didn't look like this. Ooh, Nerdroot. Thank you. Now, the texture mod is only a very small amount of this video. I mainly, actually, wanted to make this video, and I'm running it at 60 FPS as well, if you hadn't noticed, using good old Shadowplay. If you notice a drop in the quality, it's probably because I'm using Shadowplay. Now, the fuck are you using that for?
What is it?
You serious? Okay. Possibly because she's... Oh, it's because I gave her a shield, that's why. She doesn't have anything else. Let's give her something better. You have... Oh, don't give me the fucking sass. I really should have done this before I started, shouldn't I? So, aside from the graphical settings, and the additional tweaks to my followers, which includes the ability to turn off friendly fire, for all you mages out there who are afraid of using any destruction spells that bounce, very useful. No, the main reason is because of one little mod called Frostfall, and that little mod adds things like hypothermia and exposure to the game. So you know how exploring the northern wastes of Skyrim it's really boring. Really boring, beautiful place, but it's a bit empty, a bit boring. Well, not anymore, because this mod adds the ability for you to freeze to death. That's right, you need to wear clothing which is suitable for the areas that you go in. This is all customizable, of course, in the options. Let me show you the options. Go into magic, and then you have to go to powers, and then you can go to survival settings. So these are all tweakable. You have hardcore, classic, and light, or you can just change things however you like. Hardcore, you have wear turned on. That means that you have to wear clothing that is appropriate. You can't just run around naked because you'll get more exposure more quickly. If you put on furs, you'll feel warmer. Things like that. Fast travel is disabled. Waiting outdoors, blah, blah, blah. You must manually light your campfires. That's right, if you get caught out in a rainstorm, you have to find shelter. If you can't find shelter, you're probably going to die. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here, I've made myself a cooking pot, so I can cook over fires. It's a nice little insert they've done. You basically carry around a little cooking set which you can put over any campfire, not just ones that you put down. That's right, you can put down campfires. I also have myself tents. I have tents that I have to set up. Each tent has different... It has different capabilities. There are 2 types, and they're both split into large and small. And you can apparently expand the bedrolls out, which is useful for your followers in a sort of more roleplay sense than anything else. They don't really get much out of it. I don't think they can die of exposure. Leather tents are lighter, and the fur tents are heavier, but the fur tents keep in heat better, whereas the leather tents are waterproof. So if you use a fur tent in the more temperate climates and it's raining, your tent will probably leak and you'll get wet, and that means that you'll feel damp and you'll feel uncomfortable, and it will affect the way that you play the game. Whereas if you use a leather tent up north, you're going to get cold. You're going to get very cold. You also need to gather wood, firewood and deadwood. You need to use these in order to create campfires. You need a bunch of firewood to do it. Let me just show you the survival skills. So if I press on the shouts, what do? Build campfire, craft item, harvest wood, view status, inspect equipment. So inspect equipment allows you to see how warm the equipment is. It's an optional extra. View status, that shows you how you're feeling. Are you wet? Are you uncomfortable? Are you warm? Are you cold? How much exposure do you have? When you hit 100 exposure, you die. But you can turn that off. Harvest wood, spend a little bit of time walking around, gathering a bit of wood. It's all done automated, so you don't really need to worry about it, but you do need an axe. After a certain amount of uses, the axe is broken. You can craft yourself an extra axe. Oh, we're in combat apparently. Ah, there we go. Turns out having 2 followers really, really helps. So let me show you. You have an extra crafty system here. You can craft yourself longbows, stone arrows, walking stick, very, very useful. Increases movement speed by 10% when held in the right hand. You can make yourself fur armor on the fly. It actually gives a point to a load of the pelts that you get. You can make yourself travel cloaks. That'll give you extra resistance to cold and to rain. Presumably, each one has a different sort of expertise. I've crafted myself a fur cloak because I know we're going up to the top. And I know it's probably going to get cold. You can clean pelts. You can then turn them into leather. You can create yourself enchanting supplies. Quite an interesting thing. You can enchant on the go. Tanning rack. I've already got one of those. Pop that down. Make yourself another tent. Snowberry extract allows you to swim in frigid water for 3 minutes. Another interesting thing about this mod, if you fall in the water and it's cold, it might kill you. And even if it doesn't kill you, if you don't warm yourself back up and dry off after you get out of it, you might still die anyway, because you're very wet. If you're in cold climates, you're probably going to die. You know, it's the usual sort of think about it in a real life sort of sense. If you fall in the water, you need to get dry, otherwise you're just going to get colder and colder, and then you're going to die. So this mod adds a whole new, very interesting element, and it's actually very easy to install. A lot of the more advanced mods require things. What the hell are you doing? Require things like Skyrim script extender in order to be used properly, things like that. This does not require any of that. So I'm heading up the mountain and I'm heading probably into colder climates. I thought this would be a good time to sort of show off a bit of the capabilities. Light snow begins to fall. I have weather sense. It lets me know when the weather's starting to change, if I'm starting to get cold. Things like that. We have a visitor. Oh, an ice wolf! There we go. Sod you, you ice wolf. Ice wolf belt. That's cool. Another thing that you can do, if you just have a quick look at my character, I've got a cloak there, but I've also got a backpack. And the backpacks, as well as dynamically changing depending on whether you have like your tent with you or an axe, they allow you to carry 50 points more of items. And you can make black ones out of black furred animals like wolves. You can make brown ones out of cows, things like that, all different colours. And then I've got this one which has been enhanced with dragon bone, so I take 5% less damage from animals. It's like the depth that this mod has gone into is ridiculous. Mages can conjure shelter. I believe I have. If I just show you a scroll, I have a scroll of conjure greater shelter, just in case of emergencies. That will create a shelter. If I get caught out without a shelter normally, I'd have to find myself like a little rocky outcrop to go and hide underneath, or I'd need to pitch up a tent, put a campfire outside. Let's just use my weather sense just to see how we're going at the moment. The air is biting cold. So I was warm. So oh god, I've contracted rock joint. Okay, there we go. Is that going to slow me down? Probably not. I do have some potions that'll get rid of rot joint. Let's put on my walking stick so I go a little bit faster. Yeah. I can also hit things with my walking stick. But usually, just use it sheathed. It'll speed you up by 10%. My exposure, as you can see, is dropping. It was at plus 12. Now it's at plus 9. So it is dropping bit by bit. I will expect that it'll continue to drop, to be perfectly honest. It's getting quite cold. Yeah, the air is biting cold. It's bloody cold up here. In fact, I'm going to put on my fur cloak. Here we go, let's replace my linen cloak. Probably better in the temperate climes. Linen is generally a cooler sort of material. Replace that with my fur cloak. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah! That is pretty cool. You guys will be fine. I don't think they are particularly bothered by this mod, to be perfectly honest. There we go. So yes, it's essentially an outdoor survival mod. You can pair this with a mod which requires you to keep eating food and drink and to sleep on regular occasions. But I'm just happy enough with the extra depth that this adds. Like, there's a ridiculous amount of depth in this, and it's absolutely fantastic. Things like alcohol will drop your exposure down for a small time, basically mimicking the real-life effect where you don't feel as cold when you've been drinking alcohol. That's a thing that happens. So it's a thing that happens here. Soothe spells will make people not feel as cold for a small amount of time. I feel comfortable right now. So,
Huh?
Who are you?
Just a pilgrim. Just a pilgrim.
Just a pilgrim.
I was just outside Iverstead when it happened.
What are you doing?
Oh,
for God's sake. No, stop!
Outside Iverstead when it happened.
There we go. This
Walking
UI
the
is not
steps,
great.
Meditating on the emblems.
Alright then, see you in a
I
bit.
make this trip every few years.
So, let's see. Exposure's dropping. At least I'm not wet. That would make things worse. At some point soon, before my exposure drops further and further, I'm probably going to have to pitch up some sort of camp. I'll probably pitch up a fur tent, put a campfire outside of it, and... Dragon. Oh. That's not a dragon. That's a troll. Why is there a troll? It's been a long time since I played Skyrim, and frankly, this mod has rather reinvigorated my... Ooh, that was a good shot. Come at me, bro. Don't have him round. This mod has very much reinvigorated how I felt about Skyrim. You know, I was bored of it before. Now I'm not so much so. I'm not bored anymore. Come on, come down here and face us. There we go. Break out the steel battle axe. Hey, baby. Ugh. Someone's a big boy. Oh my god, I died. Okay. God, you forget how pretty this game is. You really do. Especially with the enhanced textures. We're basically back up where I was before, so... Yes, as I was saying, before I was rudely killed, we can see that my exposure's dropping again. Obviously, since I've reverted to an older save game since I died, I now feel comfortable, which means that I've gone back to 0 exposure. I was warm before. I'd spent some time in an inn by a fire. That had warmed me up quite nicely. Your exposure pauses whilst you're in combat, so you don't need to worry about dying of exposure when you're in combat, but you can turn that off, so you can die of exposure in combat. As you become gradually more and more exposed, you will find that your vision is impaired, you'll slow down. Think of the final stages of Journey, if you can think of that without bursting into tears. He's up there again, isn't he? Okay. Right, guys, I'm going to need you to kind of, you know, pretty much take 4 on this one. Let's, there we go. Oh, dodging, are we? Friggin' dodging. Dodgy little bugger. Dodgy little bastard. That's it. My character is a proud Breton lady who doesn't think much of the court intrigues of Breton. Of High Rock. There we go. That'll do. That does me just fine. There we go. Troll fat. So this would probably be a good place to sort of hide Why can't I take that? Okay. Can't take that arrow, apparently. This would probably be a good place to hide from a storm. You know, it's a sheltered alcove, that sort of thing. So I could do things like that. Let's have a look. The air is bone chilling. I don't think actually at this. I don't think I have my fur cloak on anymore. Let's find out. I do not. Let's put those on. So yeah, I'm gradually becoming more and more exposed to the elements, feeling the chill more and more. Going to move on a little bit more. Hopefully start to show some of the signs of exposure before... oh look, there's the barrow down there. Maybe talk about a couple of the other mods that I've got going. So, I picked up like a small list of mods that I thought would work well together, because I had issues before where games would just basically crash because the mods weren't working together properly. So, this time I used things like the Nexus Mod Manager in order to try and seek out an optimal configuration of mods.
Still here.
Yes, I know you're still here. You're always still here. Seek out like an optimal configuration of mods, along with just basically only sticking with a smaller amount. I tried not to go overboard on mods. I will probably add some more, but my advice to people is start small, build up from a couple of larger mods, say. You know, start with maybe the texture mods, build your way up into other stuff. I have Moonpath to Elsewhere installed on here, so at some point I can go visit the Khajiit homeland. I also have a mod installed that gives you Windcaller Pass, which allows you to essentially just cut straight through Hrothgar. It means you don't have to continue going around the mountains all the goddamn time. I didn't use that this time just because I wanted to have the experience of going all the way around, and I did, and it was fun, and I killed lots of things. I'm almost there, actually. Oh dear, we're gonna have to just kill some time, aren't we? But it's pretty damn cold. I'll show you how I can set down a tent, set up a little fire. Here we go. Well, this seems like a good place to do it. So what we do, go into our miscellaneous fur tent, I think. Pitch tent. You get this little, there we go. Let's pop it.
Huh?
There we go. Beautiful. Pitch tent here. It's a little bit laggy, but you know, it's a very well made mod. There we go, just give it a little bit of time for it to sort itself out. Let's do survival skills. Let's build ourselves a campfire. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. Beautiful. Build campfire. And then we need to activate the campfire. We need to add 6. Oh, I thought you said something behind me then. Let's say things like that. You just get the shit out of me. Torch. We just need to bash with the torch. There we go. So now we have a campfire. If I show you my weather sense. I probably should put the torch away, actually. I don't want to burn that down. I don't think you even can burn torches down, but I don't like having them out all the time. So my exposure is now at minus 26. Beginning to warm up. Minus 18. There we go, look. And I can go and sit on my bedroll. And another nice little feature is your character will automatically take off some of their equipment. So they'll take off their helmet, they'll unequip their backpack, things like that. So it'll look a bit more like they're actually in a tent. Oh, of course, Lydia's going to come and get in as well. So there's my backpack just over there. You can turn on the little lantern. Obviously the sides disappear just so you can see what's going on. You're just going to stand out there? Cool. I'm carrying too much to be able to run, apparently. There we go. So I'm going to get back out again. Exposure, plus 20. Look at that.
Still here.
I am nice and toasty warm right now. I've set myself up a little campfire. Tell you what, whilst we're here, might as well show you how we can use the cook pot as well. So, again, drop that. It'll say, do you want to place it? I'll go, yes. I go, there we go. There we
Right behind you.
go. There we go. There we go. Cool. Place cooking pot.
I'm right behind you.
There we go, and it'll have a nice big piece of wood stuck through it. Because every cooking pot needs that, right? Glub, glub, glub. Do I have anything to cook? Oh, stop saying you're right behind me. It's really irritating. I need more salt. I need loads of salt. There we go. Pack that back away. Can pack this away.
Let's get going.
Indeed, let's get going.
Still here.
Cooking pot. Cooking pot. What the fuck are you doing? Get off, that's my cooking pot. Lydia,
Right
stop. Stop. There we go. And then we can just destroy the campfire. And there we go. I'm nicely warmed up again. And I can continue on my way. Of course, it was only just up there. Let's harvest. Oh, there's no trees to harvest wood from. That's kind of annoying. So, you know, on the way back down, might be a little bit stuck. But I'm sure I'll be alright, because High Hrothgar's just here. I have fast travel, because I've not been that mean to myself. So there we go. Modded Skyrim, very, very highly recommended. If you have the capabilities to do it, like the stuff I have on at the moment has not impacted my performance at all. I'm running a solid 60 frames a second at the moment. I might actually look at unlocking that, because it's solid the whole time. I'm recording this on Shadowplay, so there's not been too much of a hit on performance, because of course Shadowplay is wonderful for performance. DX Story did have a bit of an issue doing it, so went with Shadowplay for once. Sorry for the lack of content, actually. As you guys, I'm sure you guys know, I am very busy at the moment. Very busy. Haven't been feeling particularly well the last couple of days either, which has not helped. But I'm trying to get out as much as I possibly can. Anyway, check out Frostfall. I'll pop links to things. Was it Frostfall or was it Frostcall? Anyway, it's one of the two. I'll pop the links in the comments. You can check out all the mods. All of these mods work beautifully well together. My recommendation, install them from the Steam Workshop if you can. If not, get them from the Nexus. Get them from the Nexus. And then use the Nexus Mod Manager, load everything up. Tell Nexus Mod Manager to optimize the load. It will do that for you. And then you will be grand. You'll be good to go. Start a new character, because why not? And the other, well, I've got another mod which makes the combat better as well. I completely forgot about that. Dragon's Tongue, interesting. Let's pop the things in here. I believe that's what I'm supposed to do. Clinic supplies. There we go. Beautiful. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has persuaded you to go and play this yourself, because you very well should. If your computer is good enough to be handling Skyrim, it's good enough to probably just be handling these mods as well. It doesn't put too much of a performance hit that I've noticed. Obviously, I have a pretty good computer, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Skyrim's, what, 4 years old now?
I'm right behind you.
I'm sure most medium-range computers will be able to handle it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been interesting for you. I'm having a ball playing this right now. Shut up, Lydia. Jesus. See you soon. Madness.
Still here.
Out.
Still here.